Hello everyone and welcome to this fascinating session of learning called Sahyog, and today we have very important topic to be talk about, which is enhancing achievement motivation. What are these? What could be the characteristics and how influence it's going to be impact on, especially when we talk about the adolescents. I've got two panelists with me. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Deepa L. Holgun. She is an assistant professor joining us from RIE Mysore. I welcome you, ma'am. And along with her, we've got Professor Rama S., Head DERIE NCERT Mysuru. I also welcome you, ma'am. So without wasting any more time, let's quickly start. First of all, Dr. Deepa, we need to understand what is the mean if we ask about achievement and motivation. So what is achievement motivation?
Yes. Good evening, one and all. Good evening, viewers. So today we are going to discuss about what do you mean by achievement, motivation, and what is the motivation here. So when you talk about, we can say that in this modern era, achievement is considered to be a very, very important factor for personal as well as the social progress. So the whole system of education, it is revolving around enhancing the achievement of the students in the school. And when you say enhancing achievement, this depends upon the motivation to do that. So when you talk about motivation, motivation is always considered as a very important, as a central factor in academic achievement. And we can say that it is one of the basic drive for all of our actions and our behaviors. So motivation is very, very important because it is going to affect our everyday life. All our behaviors, all our actions, thoughts and feelings and beliefs are influenced by our inner drive or the motivation to succeed. When you say motivation here, motivation is nothing but it is an inner urge which pushes the individual to achieve something or to do something. It is a force, inner force of a student which makes the individual to do something here. So motivation increases the initiation and persistence of learning activities. It increases students' time on task and is also a very, very important factor affecting students' learning and achievement here. So motivation, we can say that it refers to the dynamics or the energization and direction of our behavior, which involves our needs, which involves our desires and ambitions in the life. And achievement, we can say, it is nothing but it is a competence or the skill or the ability or an act of something to achieve. To achieve something, that is what we call it as the achievement. And together we can say that achievement motivation is the motivation of a person to attain the goals, is what we call it as the achievement motivation. And achievement motivation, it is the level of one's motivation to engage in achievement behaviors. So whatever the behaviors are, whatever the actions are, if you engage in that with the motivation, that is what we call it as the achievement motivation. It is a desire or an urge to master the challenges, to master the risk and reach a high standard of excellence is what we achievement motivation. And it is based on reaching success and achieving all of our aspirations in the life is what we call it as the achievement motivation. And achievement motivation is a learned characteristics in which satisfactions come from the striving for and achieving the level of excellence. And when you talk about the motivation here, there are two types of motivation. We can say that one is called as extrinsic motivation, the other one is called as intrinsic motivation here. So extrinsic motivation is nothing but it is a motivation that comes from outside the individual or outside the students is what we call it as extrinsic motivation. Like we can say that the motivating factors can be the rewards, can be the cash prize, can be the trophies, can be the grades or the ranks is what we call it as the external motivation. And these rewards or the grades or the trophies, it is going to provide the satisfaction and the pleasure that the task itself may not provide, or the work whatever we are doing may not provide it. An extrinsically motivated person will work on a task even when they have little interest in that, because of the anticipated satisfaction they will get from some rewards. So because of that, we can say that extrinsic factors are the factors which are outside the individuals, those are called as the extrinsic factors. And these rewards can be something as like we can say that it can be the trophies, it can be the cash prizes, it can be the gold medals, it can be anything. For example, we can say that if an extrinsically motivated student who dislike maths or a science may work hard on mathematics because he wants the reward for completing it. In the case of a students, we can say that the reward could be a good grade or an assignment or in a project or in the class. So that is what we call it as the extrinsic motivation. And when you say the intrinsic motivation here, so as I've told you, there are two types of motivation. One is extrinsic and the other one is intrinsic. When you talk about intrinsic motivation, it refers to the motivation which comes from the individual himself. Like we can say that the motivation which comes from inside the individual or inside the students rather than from any external or the outside factors, that is what we call it as intrinsic motivation here. So the motivation comes from the pleasure one gets the task itself, or from the sense of satisfaction in completing or even working on any of the task is what we call it as intrinsic motivation. And we can say that an intrinsically motivated person will work very good. Say for example, if it is a science subject or if it is a math subject, because they feel it is enjoyable. They get pleasure from doing that task. And they find very challenging in finding those solutions, or we can say that in doing those tasks there. So in both the cases, we can say that persons are going to work on the task because of some rewards.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Deepa. I would like to stop here because we are running short of time, so we need to maintain that time legacy as well. But thank you so much while briefing this topic to our audience. Yes, when we talk about any issue, we always talk about there is always a possibility to talk about their importance. So can we understand the importance of achievement motivation if we can explain to this to our audience?
Yeah, sure. So when you talk about the importance of motivation here, achievement motivation, so we can say that the present century has been visualized as a technologically advanced world. So hence, starting from the school levels, we can say that the parents, the teachers, all desire for heavy investment for their children, because educated manpowers or the educated students is the emerging need of any nation, as educated and skilled students are the assets or are the other property for any country. So in this context, we can say that it becomes very, very important to develop the students from the early stage of life. And children have to develop realistic aspiration around their lives, education for the future. So, and to accomplish this, there is a need for motivation to achieve it. So achievement motivation can be considered as a basic for a good life. When you talk about the importance here, we can say that it is the foundation or the basis for the good life. People who are oriented towards achievement, they enjoy the life, they feel that they are in their own control. Being motivated gives them self-respect. They always set, we can say that, moderately difficult but easily achievable targets, which help them achieve their objectives as well as their goals here. So the importance of motivation for achievement, it is, we can say that, we can say the people who are, or the students who are having an achievement motivation, they always track of excellence and mastery. They have the ability to explore the surroundings, explore the circumstances and the environment and adjust to that. And also we can say that they are going to assume the responsibility, and also they deal with oneself, adjust the path, and also they have a good planning with that. So achievement motivation, we can say it is going to energize and directs the behavior towards achievement, and therefore it is known to be a very, very important determinant of academic success. And it is going to play a very, very important role in achieving educational goals of the students and to acquire the new knowledge, acquire the new competency and acquire the new skills. And in turn, it is going to increase the self-confidence in the students here. Say, for example, the bird who is building its nest, the student who is studying hard to get a rank, and the boy who is learning how to cycle or how to swim, all they do because of motivation. So they learn because they are motivated to learn that. So they act because, we can say, they are clear in their mind to act in order to satisfy their basic needs or the basic aspirations and achieve the desired goal here. So because of that reason, motivation always plays a significant role in the student's academic life, and the achievement motivation is the basic need for success or the attainment of excellence. So we can say that success is not an accident. It is a hard work, it is a perseverance, it is a determination, it is a learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what we are doing or learning to do that. So nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty. So because of that reason, when we get motivated, we are going to achieve what we wanted to achieve. Thank you.
Actually, thank you so much, Dr. Deepa. If time will allow me, I will come back to you again. But yes, thank you so much while sharing your important thoughts on achievement motivation. Now it's time to understand some factors associated with achievement motivation. To understand this, I would like to go to Professor Rama S. Professor Rama, if you can
Yes.
hear me.
Yeah. Good evening to all the audience. That is actually, as already discussed, achievement motivation is one of the determinant for not only learning in the school, it is required for throughout the life. Let us see what are the factors that are going to influence academic achievement motivation or achievement motivation in general. And before that, we just can understand briefly. Achievement motivation refers to a person's desire to accomplish something difficult. So when everything is simple, that is achieving is not that. It is something that when something is difficult, this motivation is also a very strong protective factor against mental illness. So this is what we have to understand. The person who is highly motivated, he can also, that is God himself against the mental illness, because we say idle mind is devil's workshop. So if you are not keeping engaged ourselves, that will be a problem. And there are some severe cases, evaluation, when we say that severe psychological disorders, the person may not have any motivation. So that is something that here, what is that? The main thing that we say when is a factor, it's a function of participation, strive hard, willingness to work and maintaining work. So all these things are there when I say that motivation. And okay, now coming to the factors that before that also we have to understand, there are, we say that is the motivation, drive, need, etc. There is no one type of motivation. There are several types of motivations according to many psychologists. We start with even physiological, the basic need, the safety, love and belonging, and then comes that is our achievement. So in order for our achievement motivation to be optimum and even above, that is average or high, that before that all the three basic needs have to be satisfied, and then only we can go to self-actualization. So that is, first of all, the factor is whether one person's physiological needs are satisfied, whether he has got safety and security, whether he has got some kind of attachment or sense of belongingness to a family, he has got friends, he has got even institutional affiliation. So all that, and also whether he has got self-esteem, confidence, whether he respects himself and others, all these things also contributing to achievement motivation. Here some of the people consider it is an inborn tendency, right? There are some people wander around and say it can be due to even influence of the socio-cultural factors. So in fact, it is possible to identify several internal and external factors associated with motivation. Here I am just taking the example of two individuals, A and B. So if they have, that is, let us say that there are certain needs or goals that X, Y, Z, and we can say that what is the preference of A? He has got X as high and Y moderate and Z low preference. Whereas B, that X he has got moderate and that Y low and this one. So here when they are having a preference, that shows that they are interested. First of all, that our that preference for certain goals or the needs and drives, that most important factors. They are also influenced by various short-term goals, our value system, our interest, long-term goals, what we keep, and we always link our short-term goals with the long-term goal, and also probability of the success. And also there are so many internal factors once again, like our own aptitude, capability, whether we have got prerequisite knowledge and skill, whether we have got certain virtues like trust, autonomy, initiative, industriousness, and determination, endurance, stamina. There are so many things, whether we are having resilience, free from physical and mental illness, or that we are having adequate this one, whether we are free from frustration, conflict, anxiety, or learning disabilities, study habits, and even external resources and internal and even school factors are there. So these are some of the factors. They're all linking one with the other. They're not acting in isolation, but they're acting in combination. Okay.
Right, Professor Rahman, thank you so much once again. As we are running short of time, so I'm pushing one more question towards you. What are the characteristics of mastery-oriented students and students exhibiting learned helplessness? Can we understand this thing from you as well?
Okay. Say, when we talk about achievement motivation, it is possible to classify the learners into different categories, like a mastery oriented and failure avoidance, failure acceptance, and those who are with learning helplessness and all that one. But here I am taking two categories. If we can understand, we can see the contrast and how that we can help them. That is the next question. That if we take mastery oriented learners, they have high self-esteem and efficacy. They set high goals for them. They take that is various challenges in life. They strive for success, and also that they believe prior success indicates ability. It is not only that one. They can accurately assess poor success, and even they can, when there will be adversity, that they are ready to strive more, and also that they see how to improve the effort in order to avoid a failure, and they take pride in their accomplishment, sense of accomplishment, and they perform at a higher level. So this is about achievement, that mastery oriented learners. But when it comes to learners with tendency for learned helplessness, that here we can say that these individuals are one, according to American Psychological Association, the learned helplessness. What is that? The individuals are not helpless, but they are learned. It is a learned behavior. Occurs when someone repeatedly faces uncontrollable, stressful situation. As the stress increases, the person thinks that he is helpless and then does not exercise any control over that. So that is there, and also it is a learned behavior. That means when there is a difficult situation, the person is not going to put any effort. So that we will see, some people consider or discover themselves that they don't have control over the situation, what is called self-efficacy according to Bandura. So that here they lose motivation. When I say I don't have control over situation, why should I put effort? So that is what, even when opportunity is given, some of these people, they deny and they don't accept that responsibility to control the situation. And these people that they don't take the decisions in time, procrastination, they keep on postponing taking the decision. And also, as already told, when a person feels learned helplessness and there is motivation is reduced, that leads to depression. So many of the people with this, they will have, there are three main key features of them. They becoming passive in the face of trauma. For example, now Corona pandemic period, many people feel that they are that helpless. So that means whenever there is a trauma or a difficult situation, stressful situation or crisis, they become passive. They don't react at all. So they don't take appropriate steps. And difficulty learning that responses can control trauma. Everybody has to learn. We all learned. That is what is called resilience. We learn to cope up with the situation. Whereas these people, they don't do. That increases their stress level. And also, these things begin during childhood, especially as that Bandura and even Erik Erikson and other people told, if the person, the parents are not given sufficient opportunity to develop certain that is traits, as already told, autonomy, initiativeness, industriousness, due to overprotection or negligence, ignoring, they develop during this period. And if it happens regularly, that will be continued to later adulthood also. And children with even prolonged abuse and neglect develop learning, learned helplessness. And these individuals have low self-esteem, low motivation, low expectations of success, and less persistence, they don't continue to work with that, not asking help also. Many times that those who are mastery oriented, they are ready to seek help from others, but these people, they don't do that. They always attribute any kind of the failure to lack of ability rather than thinking lack of that is effort, and they think that they are unlucky like that. These are some of the that characteristic features of the individuals with learned helplessness.
Right. Thank you so much, Professor Rama. We have only 1 minute left now. So, Dr. Deepa, any motivational message if you would like to give to our audience, what it should be?
Yeah. So, 1 minute, I have not taken about any kind of this one, no, that intervention. Quickly, I will tell that and think then she can
sure, please.
take, because that is the major thing. So we have to give intervention for the individuals with learned helplessness. Here that there are one of the things the counselors, because it is also dealing with the counselor, they can use the cognitive behavioral therapy. So wherein the individual will get all kind of support and encouragement, and it is possible to help the individual to overcome that. They can decrease the feeling of this one, they can be motivated, they can identify the factors responsible for their the state of mind of helplessness, and they can that avoid such kind of situation. They can improve their self-esteem, and also they can face the challenging situation, and they can anticipate when there will be abuse and neglect, and they can even try to predict, and they can set appropriate goals. So I think over to Deepa. Thank you.
Right. Yes, Dr. Deepa, quickly you need to sum up.
Yeah, so as I told you, like, success is not an accident. We have to hard work, we have to have a determination to do that, and also we have to put in more effort. So that, and most importantly, we can say that love of what you are doing or learning to do that is very, very important. So when you have a love towards it, when you have intrinsically motivated towards to achieve that, then we can say that nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing. Because unless if you have effort, unless if you put a pain, unless it is difficulty, then only we can achieve something here. So achievement motivation is very, very important factor in each and everyone's life.
Right, so thank you so much. So that's it for today now, and that was the lovely, incredible session of learning, and I believe you all love this. Whosoever missed this, the link is available on NCERT official YouTube channel. You can go down and watch this program once again. But thank you so much, both the experts, for your valuable time, Professor Rama and Dr. Deepa. Thank you so much once again.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you so much for the participation. All the viewers, keep watching PM eVidya channel. We will be right back here after having another incredible session of learning. Stay tuned.
Okay.